Hi, I'm Bonnie Browning with the American Quilter Society, and do you know how much fun it is to be the director of the quilt show and to get to interview the big winners? Today I'm here with Gina Perkes, and she won the APQS Longarm Quilting Workmanship Award. Congratulations!
Thank you. I couldn't be more excited.
Now, you're no stranger to winning here at AQS, but I don't think you've ever won this prize before, have you?
I have not, and this is really just something that I have always aspired to hopefully win, and here I am.
All right, and so in your quilt then will go to the Quilt Museum?
It will, which
Okay.
is probably the coolest moment in my career for sure. The museum is just something that all quilters dream of, having a quilt hanging. So, and that's one of my dreams, and now it's coming true.
And so tens of thousands of people every year are going to get to see this quilt hanging over in the museum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
how
the
nice.
lighting in the museum, it's just amazing the way they display the quilts, and it's just, it's incredible. It's overwhelming.
And you know, after the end of the show today, Bill Schrader will hand carry these over to the Quilt Museum, and they'll be hung so that people can see them starting tomorrow.
That's what I've been told.
Yes.
How exciting.
So let's talk a little bit about your quilt.
Okay.
All right, you used some unusual fabrics in this quilt. Tell us about
I did.
that.
Okay. So the inspiration for this quilt came from a suit that my great-grandfather wore in his wedding. So the idea was that I would use this suit in the quilt. And I wanted to felt the wool so that I could then do the applique with the suit. I couldn't find the suit. But I still had this idea in my mind that I wanted to use these suits. So I used somebody's great-grandfather's suits. So I'm sure it's special in some way, right?
Okay, and so that was wool suits?
Yes, wool
Okay.
suits. So I went and collected wool suits at various thrift shops and yard sales and things like that. And then I felted the wool and used them in some of the areas of applique.
Okay, and so the background fabric where it's gray is where you use the suits. Other colors too?
I used cotton fabrics, and then the wool is the applique.
The wool is the applique.
Yeah. So the background's cotton, and then the wool is the applique, where
So
I
then-
felted it so I could do raw edge.
Raw edge applique. And
Yeah.
so did you fuse it down or did you have to?
I used a glue, an adhesive, just a washable glue stick is all,
Okay.
and just held it in place. And then I did my stitching.
Then you could machine
my
stitch
machine
it.
applique. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and you use a variety of quilting designs in here. Tell us a little bit about how you chose what to put where.
Okay, I'd love to. So a lot of the quilting, it just sort of happens kind of spontaneously as I'm working. So I leave a lot of negative space so that I can plug in different designs. And I do like to have a lot of variety in my designs. So I start sort of auditioning design placement on a paper where I take a photograph of the quilt and print several copies so that I can start auditioning. And a lot of the designs, I wanted a variety of straight line quilting, some grid work quilting, things like that, with some feather work and more flowy type designs. Some of the inspiration came from greeting cards.
Okay.
So people in my hometown must think I'm the nicest person. I'm always in the greeting card section. But really, I'm just trying to get quilting ideas.
Well, and on the cards, they use different designs like that to create texture on the flat surface, don't they?
Right, exactly, and that's
it
what
works
we
perfectly.
do. It does. So I'll take little elements that I see. I don't copy or anything like that, but I'll take little elements that I see and sort of, oh, that could work for quilting. I like the way they maybe use the edge here to add a secondary design. So that type of thing is what I do.
Well, now, it looks like you did trapunto on this quilt, but you didn't, did you?
No, and that's what a lot of people are asking me. Oh, I like the trapunto. Well, it's actually not. It's 2 layers of batting. So I use a layer of wool towards the top and then a layer of cotton towards the back. So that's going to give me that extra loft. But what creates that really cool texture is when you add an intricate, more dense quilting design next to a quilting design that's a little bit less dense. So that will cause it to really pop.
And you don't have to cut out all that batting and everything like we used to do.
No.
That's good.
I'm too scared to try trapunto. So I think I'll just cheat and do 2 layers of batting.
Now, Gina, I saw a really cute post on Facebook And tell us about what your son wrote on your car window.
So my son, my poor children, they have to put up with me, and I get very excited. So I get this message and this call. I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, guess what? And I'm just so excited. So then my son went to work. A few hours later, I went out to go to my car, and he had done the car paint thing all over the window. Love you, Mom, and $12,000. Now I'm driving around thinking people probably think it's for sale for $12,000. But yeah, I don't think I can wash my car though. It's so sweet.
Well, you've got a good picture of it though.
I do.
And
yeah.
so that tells you how much your son appreciates what you do and how talented you are.
Right. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. It really does. It means a lot when you have support from your family and they get it and understand what you've worked for.
Well,
so.
And do you know what? It's fun when we can poke some fun and have some fun on Facebook with one another and share everything that we're doing.
Oh gosh, yeah, the networking is incredible, and the friendships that have been built through Facebook is great.
Well, you're lucky to have two great boys.
I am.
Well, it's an absolutely gorgeous quilt, well deserving of the APQS Longarm Workmanship Award. We'll look forward to seeing many more quilts from you.
Absolutely.
And if you haven't entered an AQS quilt show lately, you need to be sure to go to QuiltWeek.com and look up the rules under the contest heading, and you could be our next winner standing right here, couldn't they?
They sure could.